I'm going to activate that card's effect to special summon the one and the only Divine Dragon, Lord Felgrand, in attack mode. Now, Divine Dragon, attack his life points directly! You think that your Divine Dragon's attack is going to go through, but you forgot what I had face down. This is the most powerful trap card that I know in the entire game. You've activated my Sakuretsu Armor, which destroys your monster. You think that your Sakuretsu Armor is going to go through, but you forgot about my Return of the Dragon Lords in my graveyard. Its first effect is to revive a monster from the graveyard, but its second effect can be used from the graveyard. And that, my friend, is where you messed up. This can stop one of your cards from destroying one of my monsters by banishing it. So what do you have to say about that? I win!
How? How could I lose? I had the best trap card in the entire game. And he defeated me. No. It can't end this way. It just can't.
Oh. This can't be. I lost. I lost! I can't believe it! What's up, Scrubscribers? I'm Dylan Mathiot, and this is Blue Eyes White Dude. And today, as the title suggests, we're talking about cards that I used to think were good, but I learned, whether that be like recently or somewhat in the past, that they either aren't good anymore or they never were to begin with. And me being a scrub and all, I still use some of these cards in my casual duels that I have, like with my brother and stuff. And they still do fairly well because he uses similar cards. So without further ado, haha, see what I did there? Huh? Kill me. Let's jump into 10 cards that I used to think were good, but just really aren't. Now this first card is one that is like the first card that I think of when I think of what I used to think was good, but actually isn't, and that is Magic Cylinder. And the effect of Magic Cylinder reads, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, target the attacking monster, negate that attack, and inflict damage to your opponent equal to that target's attack. Now, the reason I thought this card was good was it could win games if it goes off, especially in a slower, older format. It actually could go off every time when there wasn't as many like negates and stuff like that. Now, the reason that it's not so good is that traps are only ever used if they're extremely powerful and or if they can activate from the hand, sort of like evenly matched or similar cards like that Red Reboot. But in Duel Links, this card would be super powerful and is only ever available as an extra card, which you can only access by using an item booster that gives you that extra card. So things like Mirror Force, Magic Cylinder, Pot of Greed. It's crazy to think that Pot of Greed is in the same league as Magic Cylinder in Duel Links, which is kind of crazy. Because if they put Magic Cylinder in Duel Links, we would have to get some other more powerful cards to try to get rid of that card. So in the TCG, yeah, Magic Cylinder is not really that good. Now, a spell card that I thought was actually super good back in the day when, I don't know if it actually saw that much play or any play at all back in the day, but definitely doesn't see any nowadays, was Swords of Revealing Light. And Swords of Revealing Light's effect reads, flip all monsters your opponent controls face up. This card remains on the field for 3 of your opponent's turns. While this card is face up on the field, monsters your opponent controls cannot declare an attack. Now, the reason I thought this was so good was that you can stall for 3 whole turns potentially. Back in the day, there was not too much back row removal. Like MST, I guess, was a thing. But like at one point it was limited. So you could honestly, back in the slower format, stall for 3 turns and just like get a big fucking board. But at the same time, your opponent could also get a big board if you had nothing else except Swords of Revealing Light. So it's like, it's a little too slow, especially nowadays. Now, the first monster on this list that I thought was super good back in the day was the Winged Dragon of Ra. Yes, a god card. It was mainly because of the anime and the fact that I didn't read its effects. So I just thought that it had, like, it was indestructible by card effects. It couldn't be targeted. It basically couldn't be destroyed by battle because you could just almost pay all of your life points to actually, like, boost it to, like, 9,000 attack or some bullshit like that. But yeah, that is not at all what it actually does. In fact, it is actually, right now, it actually has a lot of support that just came out, so it might not be as bad as it used to be, but before that support came out, the Winged Dragon of Ra was the worst god card in the entire game, and the god cards aren't even really that good to begin with. Obelisk was the only one I think I heard. He's the only one who ever saw any type of play because he can't be targeted by card effects. And yeah, Ra, its effect reads that it cannot be special summoned, requires 3 tributes to normal summon, and cannot be normal set. This card's normal summon cannot be negated. When normal summoned, other cards and effects cannot be activated. When this card is normal summoned, you can pay life points so that you only have 100 left. This card gains attack and defense equal to the amount of life points paid. You can pay 1,000 life points, then target one monster on the field, destroy that target. Now, one of the things that I saw, it said that, like, you could not actually activate card effects when it was normal summoned, which means I thought that meant that, like, you couldn't ever activate any more effects after it was normal summoned, which is not true. It's at the moment of the normal summon, you can't negate it and you can't activate any other card effects in response to it. That's it. And it's not indestructible. It can just be a big, beefy dude that could swing for game, but like your opponent only had 100 life points left, which ironically, you could use Magic Cylinder to be like, no, bitch. Winged Dragon of Raw Sphere mode, though, that's seen play for a while just because it can tribute 3 of your opponent's monsters and just like get rid of them without actually targeting them or destroying them or something like that they can be immune to. Now, the next card is actually another trap card, and this one is Scrap Iron Scarecrow, and its effect reads, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, target the attacking monster, negate the attack. Also, after that, set this card face down instead of sending it to the graveyard. That last effect there, I used to think that you could keep using it after it was set face down again, and yeah, that's not the case. If you have 3 copies, you can use all 3 of them on one turn, but you can't keep using the same copy of the card one after another. So it used to, I feel like it used to be busted if that was the actual effect, maybe. But like, nah, the card honestly is not that good. It only negates 1 attack per turn. It doesn't negate the whole battle phase, sort of like Negate Attack does, and Negate Attack isn't even that good. It has to do something else. Like I said, trap cards have to do some good, crazy shit nowadays. So like, yeah, Scrap Iron Scarecrow can go to the scrap fucking heap. Now, this next card is a spell card, which I didn't even think back in the day was super broken, but I thought it was, like, good. And that is Stop Defense. And its effect reads, select 1 defense position monster on your opponent's side of the field and change it to attack position. So that's regardless if it's face down or not. You just flip it, or you can just change it to attack. It never was actually good, even back then. But I loved flipping opponents' monsters face up or just switching them to attack position just to beat them over if they had too high of a defense. And I thought that was pretty good back in the day. When I had 3 copies, my opponents with like fucking Aquamador or some bullshit like that, they couldn't handle the stop defense. Now, the next card on this list is Exod, Master of the Guard, the Exodia copy lookalike guy. Except he has nothing to do with Exodia, he just looks like Exodia. And this was in some sort of rock structure deck, and I thought that was super good because it had 4,000 defense. But let's look at its effect. This card cannot be normal summoned or set. This card cannot be special summoned except by tributing 1 monster on your side of the field that includes Sphinx in its card name. While this card is face up on the field, each time an earth monster is flip summoned, inflict 1,000 points of damage to your opponent's life points. Now, this deck was obviously meant to be like a whole bunch of high defense rock monsters, and this was its boss monster. If you could somehow get this card out on the field to begin with, you need to have a Sphinx monster, which most of them have high levels, so you have to get them on the field first with a bunch of resources, then get this guy, and then you inflict 1,000 burn damage every time a monster is flip summoned. That's a rock. Actually, it's an earth monster. I used to think it was good just because it has high defense. That's about it. And you could use it with Canyon, but the thing is, Canyon is that one where it's like if your opponent attacks into it, they get double damage done to it, but they're not going to attack into a 4,000 attack or a 4,000 defense monster that cannot be set. If it's set, maybe they'll attack into it. I mean, obviously, it's not a once per turn thing, so if you have a whole full board of monsters, maybe you can get 4,000 burn damage. And even then, it's only if it's flip summoned, not if it's flipped face up, so your opponent can't just attack into the monster. While you have Canyon, take a whole bunch of damage, and then another 1,000 damage. That might be decent. That might be a cool, troll burn deck. But, yeah, he's not that good. Now, the next card on the list is actually a quick play spell card called Twister. And Twister reads, pay 500 life points, then target one face-up spell or trap card on the field, and destroy that target. Twister was kind of like the discount MST, Mystical Space Typhoon. When MST was at 1, this card, I feel was still not even that good, but back in the day I thought it was because it was basically MST, but with a life point cost, and it also had to be a face-up spell or trap card that you destroyed, not just anyone. So when MST was at 1, maybe this card could have seen some play, but I don't think it actually did. And I honestly thought it was a pretty good card back in the day because it was back row removal, but nowadays there is a lot more back row removal, like Twin Twisters. Plus, MST is at 3, and that doesn't even really see too much play anymore because of Twin Twisters. The power creep is strong with this card. Now, this next monster is actually a fusion monster. It is Aratile, the Chaos Phantom, and this is a fusion of Uriah, Lord of Searing Flames, Haman, Lord of Striking Thunder, and Raviel, Lord of Phantasms, which are the 3 sacred beast monsters that recently got some support too. They're not fully broken, but it makes them kind of usable. But this card is still not that good. Its effect is must first be special summoned from your extra deck by banishing the above cards you control. You do not use polymerization, so it's not a fusion summon. This card cannot be destroyed by battle, which is pretty cool. And this card gains 10,000 attack during your turn only, which... that's fucking huge, and I thought that was broken as shit. The reason, though, I really thought it was broken was that I thought it gained that 10,000 attack each of your turns instead of just on that turn. So I thought once it's your next turn, it has 20,000 attack, and then it keeps that. It's easy to just kill it by card effects or just attack into it, and you still take the battle damage because it's back to 0. It can't be destroyed by battle, so that's alright, but still, it's not good. It never was good. Now, the next card on the list is Sakuretsu Armor, which is a normal trap card. So its effect reads, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, target the attacking monster and destroy that target. I thought that was busted as fuck, especially back in the day, because it could just literally destroy one big dude that your opponent has. And I think it actually did see some play back in the day, since there was not a ton of monster destruction / battle protection / negations that could stop this thing. And like I said, it could instantly destroy a big boss monster. But nowadays there are too many floating effects that monsters have when they're destroyed. Then there's also negations, and then there's also still just in general protection effects and stuff like that monsters have. And like I stated earlier, traps aren't just used very much unless they're totally busted or can be activated from the hand, or both. Now, the final card on this list is Spirit Reaper. This card is kind of infamous at the same time as not that good nowadays, because what it does, this card cannot be destroyed by battle. That's its main gimmick. But it has a downside where destroy this card when it is targeted by the effect of a spell, trap, or effect monster. If this card successfully attacks directly, your opponent randomly discards 1 card. This thing is probably not going to be attacking directly very much. It's basically a wall. I used to think Spirit Reaper was pretty fucking broken. This would be good in like a Monarch deck where you need a tribute and stuff like that, where you could just set, maybe have some sort of battle trap pass. If your battle trap gets negated, Spirit Reaper still doesn't get destroyed by battle. And then next turn you can sack it for like a Monarch, or maybe even a Jinzo, which can sometimes be better. This card's not that good because of its downside. It can still be destroyed by card effects, and it doesn't even have to be a card effect that is destroying it. You just target it with any effect, and it's just like, boom. Goodbye. Peace out, bitches. That's it for my time, guys. Remember to like the video, subscribe if you're new here to become a Scrubscriber, and hit that bell to make sure you get notified of every video, because YouTube is kind of a bitch sometimes with that. And comment down below some cards that you guys thought were good, but just honestly are not good in today's meta, or were ever good. And I will see you guys next week.